that music is so calming. Oh wait, there isn't any music. It is the once a month now Spincast Cycling Show. I forgot the name of this show. That's how long it's been. So somebody's not on a boat. He's on a beach. Brian White, Casey Shum, Lisa Vries. I'm Brian Kellison. It's good to be back. I don't remember what this last stuff. Did I just flicker? Is my camera flickering? Whatever. Moving on. It's audio. People only care about the audio and us just laying into the different cycling platforms. I had a good time riding a couple weeks ago. I think it was like 2 weeks. I was like way into it. I was like, oh, I'm back in it. I'll get into that really quick. Congratulations to the lucky family who adopted Josephine, the little rescue French bulldogs. We had two, fostering two. One was adopted yesterday. Congratulations to that family. An older couple who needed an older, more senior dog. Gaspar is still up for adoption. People for Pets and Tracy. There you go. Public service announcement out there. That has really messed up my ability to ride. I actually did a bike thing this last few days. Cycling thing. I put bar tape onto my bars.
Hey.
When I was riding, okay, so I hadn't put a bar tape on since I crashed back in September. I think I crashed, and I'm like, oh well, I bought bar tape and I never put it on because I was just like not motivated to do bar tape, and I just put a towel. I put like 2 towels so to get a little cushioning for the Zwift plays and all the other stuff. I'm not very good at putting on bar tape. Let's just get that out of the way.
It takes practice. It does.
Oh yeah. Like I have to watch YouTube videos. I looked at
every time.
The thing.
Every
yeah.
time
and I'm
you
just
have to
like,
watch the same
the dude
YouTube.
from the guy
Always
Calvin,
driving the wrong way.
Calvin from Park Tool is the guy that I watch, and I watch like the Tour de France guy, like the mechanic for like, what is it? EF
And he
education.
takes 17 seconds.
He's like, oh yeah, you just stretch it, and I use not a sponsor, but Lizard Skins. I like the grip of them. And then you're not supposed to stretch them because it takes it, like if you overstretch them, it takes their little like gripping material off. I got them on. I felt accomplished. There's a slight little triangle gap, but I didn't use the little spacer thing. I used
take it all apart.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I can't handle the gap.
Okay, well but my electrical tape to finish it off is terrible. So like Lee, you would lose your mind if you saw my tape.
Because you got to like cut it on an angle.
Yeah.
But I mean, indoor, do you really even need bar tape?
That was going to be my question.
I always put a towel on my bars.
Yeah. I have a set of Amazon Carbon Aero bars, and I bought bar tape for them when I bought them. And I was throwing one real quick, and I was like, oh, that's kind of comfortable. It's been 4 to 5 years. I've not had bar tape on my indoor bike.
Your hands get numb? That's the reason why I use bar tape because I use my bike outside. No. But
I got an issue with my shoulder where my shoulder goes numb, but that's from
I get the palm things. You guys get the palm. That's why I need a little extra cushion.
I have like a full-size bath towel that's like tripled over on the top of the bars. So I'm always holding the bars through like 3 layers of a puffy bath towel. So that's
when you know you're going to go to a sprint because you like take the towel off, chuck it to the side so you can get a good grip on the bars.
Oh no, my towel's nice and starchy. It's just wrapped. I change my towel about once a month, so it gets nice and starchy and wrapped. There.
Oh, I do a new towel every ride.
Yeah,
because I use the towel.
Now I have my face towel, like it's like a hand towel size that I pick up and wipe off my face. But the one that stays on the bar stays on there for a couple weeks at a time.
Hygienic.
Sweat
I like
way
it.
Too much.
Yeah.
I go through 4 towels a ride.
I'm a new towel every ride. Yeah. Unless I'm running late, which is typical for me, like, oh, I missed that ride. So I got bar tape on. Before that, I did ride a couple rides. I did Zwift because it was the only thing that had events going on and whatever. And I did the Alp. I just jumped in a ride and it was the Alp. I did it. Wow, that was terrible. That was not fun at all. I did not have any. I don't think it was. I think you need to be in the mood to do something like that, like to be, oh, I'm going to do this. Like I did it. And it's like, it's the same grind. It's not anything inspiring for me anymore.
For me, the Alp, I hate doing the Alp. If like right now I am not in my best fitness. I'm a little heavier than normal. So like doing the Alp, I did one the other day for a Jersey unlock, and it sucked because I'm thinking I should be able to do this number at, you know what I mean? I kind of know the speeds from all the stupid Alp stuff we did back in the day with the streaming. So like I get three quarters of the way up, and I just want to quit the ride because I'm done. I'm mentally exhausted because I'm slower.
Like we used to be able to do an Alp in like a tempo pace under an hour, and now it's like at an hour 10. We're like, when the hell is this thing going to end?
That's why I would always avoid it, because like you see these guys, they do the Alp every day, but they're whipping out 53-minute Alps. I would do the Alp every day if I could do it in 53 minutes. For me, a normal paced ride, I'm doing it in like 90 minutes. I'm like, most of the time I don't want to ride for an hour and a half.
Well, and what I find though, doing all these other apps, especially doing the Rouvy challenges, I will do nearly Alp quantities of climbing in a 90-minute ride on Rouvy and not think twice about it. That's just what that platform is. But it's not the same dang climb that we've done 400 times.
Well, and then in the Rouvy route, it'll probably have 3 climbs that are 400 meters each, not one continuous. You know, because you're going through some mountain pass.
And I kind of have the amounts like in my brain now where it's like, oh, this is going to be 2/3 of an epic climb, or this is half of an Alp. And I'd be like, wow, this is a lot more climbing. When I see 2,000 feet of climbing now in a Rouvy ride, I don't think that's that much. But if I see 2,000 feet in Zwift, you're climbing a mountain. But in Rouvy, that's just a normal ride.
Well, then Rouvy on the little route guide at the bottom actually puts the hill classifications on the hills now. So
and their leaderboards are nice now too, because I can see if Brent rides a lot of Rouvy. Lee does. And Lee's name is the Spincast Cycling Show, right? So he pops up on the leaderboard as the show name when I go through it. So anyone you follow in the game pops up on the leaderboard, which is nice. In those two.
Yeah, how was Rouvy? I haven't been on in a while.
Rouvy good. It's I don't know of any major updates lately, but Rouvy's doing Rouvy things.
I did notice
tons of challenges. The one thing I will say, I recognized this yesterday on social media. I'm seeing more and more of the Zwift-like posts on the Rouvy pages of
starting.
Rouvy, when are you going to fix the speed? When I ride outside, I'm 3 miles an hour slower than your platform. You're too fast. And when are you going to fix this? When are you going to fix that? And I'm like, at some point, we just need to accept that the indoor platforms are not necessarily simulators. Or maybe they're simulating perfect outdoor environments versus your adverse environments. I may see cars on the road, but I don't have to dodge cars on the road in Rouvy. I don't have to stop at the stop sign. I can you know, and that type of thing. So, but otherwise, Rouvy's pretty status quo. Would you agree, Lee? I know you ride it a lot.
I pretty much exclusively ride Rouvy, except for like nationals and the Maple Cup that was happening, but I still enjoy it. Like I get on, I look at the challenges, and I plan my ride where I'm like, okay, I got an hour and a bit. I'm like, oh, there's 2 challenge rides I could do. One's 28 minutes and one's 31 minutes. That's my hour. Sweet. And then I'll look at one. I'll be like, oh, there's one that's for an hour, 40 minutes. Oh, I'll do that Saturday. Like I plan based on challenges, and I find that still keeps me motivated. Like I took last week off because our family went away on the weekend. But other than that, I've been riding 4 or 5 times a week, and it's still fun. I actually get disappointed when I run out of challenge, when the only routes that are left are 2+ hours. And I'm like, who wants to do those? I'm like, no way that I'm going to run.
I've stopped signing up for Rouvy challenges that don't have an IRL award. Right? If they don't, if they're just giving me, and I know Brian White won't agree with this, if they're just giving me a virtual jersey, I'm like, no, because I can stay busy doing challenges that earn me a shot at a 1-year free Rouvy or win a real bike or something like that.
Like one of us or someone that we know hasn't won anything. There's so many prizes that get awarded, and I look at the list every week, and I'm like, how have I not won something yet?
Well, and I'm just playing it like the lotto, right? The more entries I get out there, the more likely it is. Like even if I only win something once every 3 years, it's worth it, right?
Is it motivating you to choose to do it, to be entered in that stuff? Or is it, is it just happenstance that like,
and I know a lot of people will give me grief about this. I still double dip it. So I prioritize double dipping Ruvi because I have a chance to win something. But I actually play that into my motivation. I'll be joining a Zwift race and be like, oh, this race should take 40 minutes. I'll join a 60-minute Ruvi route, and it'll force me to finish 20 minutes after the race to extend my ride a little bit. Because once I'm 40 minutes in, I'm not going to stop.
You're the double slot machine guy.
But if I didn't double dip if I wasn't double dipping on Ruvi, as soon as I crossed the finish line on Zwift, I'd stop. Right. And I almost push myself that way. But like I said, I prioritize the rides that are earning something other than when I feel like racing. A lot of times when I just get into random races, Ruvi is my second place I look for racing. But the problem is you just don't find them that often. I would look to Bike Terra first, and there's a couple times in the week that Bike Terra has races.
Yeah,
it's usually the only time I find Bike Terra races. Then I will look for Ruvi races.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to find races on anything, really.
Yeah.
Like so if you're not versed in, if you're looking for racing, like you're like, hey, I had an injury and I have fitness and I want to get on in these virtual cycling and I want to race, not knowing that there's so much questionable stuff out there, like trainers and all the other stuff, and you just want to like, hey, I want the competition. It's hard to kind of find curated racing, right?
Yeah,
it is.
Well, I think like for Zwift specifically, because you got so many group rides, and then you get the random races that will be low attended. But I think for us who are more seasoned with Zwift, finding those series, the FFR, the dirt racing series, and that. But just like you said, for Aunt Bev hopping on wanting to do a race, it is a little challenging.
It's not even on the. It's from what I remember from the sort of like what's happening, like the what's happening now, sort of like like the front page. It doesn't really do racing. It's like, this is what's going on, and they don't really, unless I can't see it. It's like not. This is not a race. Whenever I go into events, I have to I wish it would hold on to the races like the companion app. Like you can leave the check mark of what you have filtered
to races,
which you can't do in the desktop version of the game.
Yeah, I'm opening it up now to look at it.
Yeah, so I think it's like, hey, this is the it's the Zwift game, which we'll get into, Zwift games and stuff. But like stumbling on it is harder to do than I want to find a race. I need to find it in a third party world, or somebody told me about it in a third party social network, versus them wanting to promote racing. That's where it goes back to this sort of conversation we had probably a month ago, 2 months ago, about racing is not the driver of content on these platforms. They are a slice of the life in the world.
Well, I think all the platforms have weekly series that are well attended. Like if you go to TPV, they have a Wednesday Omnium series, which is well attended. And Ruvi has a few specific race series but the problem with the race series, it doesn't, bode for a lot of people, because people just want to be like, I want to race right now. Where those races are like Tuesday at
it's like it's the pickup game at the rec. Like, hey, I want to jump in and play like a competitive game. I don't want to go do drills. I want to play a pickup game of basketball. My point is we have the what's the thing, Prestige we had, which is not these platforms promoting racing. There's other people that are doing their promotions. They're promoters of races. The platforms are now just being the world where you can do the stuff on there, and they're just making it like, hey, this is the local watering hole. You can come in, we serve drinks. Yeah. If you want to come in and competitively drink or do trivia, like your Monday night trivia, that's somebody else that does like hey, we're doing the Monday night football sort of thing, where you come in and get your 2 for Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's a good call out. I think all the big racing now is that way, right? ZRL is over until April, but then DRS, which is Dirt Racing Series, kind of fills that slot in March, which is a third party. FRR was just going on. I think maybe it was wrapping up this weekend. We had Maple Cup, which led up to the Canadian Nationals. That was a third party thing. Even the Friday age group race that I'm going to on Bike Terra, while it's closely affiliated with Bike Terra, that's actually being led by an OTR group and James. How do you say his last name, Brian?
Ogilvy.
Got it.
Got it. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Casey. On the, there's a lot of. I think that's a good thing. I think we're in a good place for that. That it's out of the world of like, hey, we want. I think I had this conversation when I was doing my my Alp of Death, and it was the wanting the platform to do the race, like they should be the ones curating all of the racing or competitiveness. And I just don't think that they're totally on board with that. I don't even think Ruvi is that. Ruvi is not really when they do their video updates for the release, they're not like, hey, we're doing a race series. It's more of like, we're doing these events and this is come and do your stuff and your workouts or your whatevers. And the community is now doing the racing, which I think is good.
Yeah. What I like on Ruvi is like they'll put these challenges out there. That's just the challenges are just perform these 5 routes over this next 4 weeks. Some random guy in the community will just go out there and put a race on 3 days a week on one of those routes, and it's kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
You have to complete the route free riding or in a race.
Mm-hmm.
So random community guys will just throw races out there on the routes that are in the challenges, and to me those are the best, right? I'll go look for
that's super double dipping.
Yeah, right. Because I get to race and I get to check something off of a challenge at the same time.
Well, that's why I like racing.
Yeah.
There wasn't My Whoosh the one that didn't give you route completions in races? It was only free rides.
Yes.
Yeah. So they may have changed that policy, correct?
I've seen people do races and get credit for courses, and SRC is a customized route, so I don't think it'll happen in SRC, but other races I've been watching people and they have got it. I have all the routes completed, so I can't verify that. So I do think they changed it. I know for a fact, I shouldn't say I know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure workouts still aren't that way, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was like you couldn't do a route in a workout.
Yeah, Ruvi doesn't like workouts.
Yeah, and then My Whoosh, like whenever we get a new world, I'll be able to confirm this, but I do believe they did fix that. But whenever we were doing the Bhutan unlocks, you could not do a workout. You had to do a free ride still.
Why do you think they would do that? Why do you think that some platforms were like, hey, we're going to do this and
well,
we're not
I know the workout
that?
thing, Ruvi's response that I've read was because you're in ERG mode, so you're not feeling the hill, even though technically you're doing the wattage but you're not doing the route. Like you're doing the wattage for the workout, and it's translating. So Ruvi likes you to actually ride the course, because a lot of times too is Ruvi won't give you credit for the route if you're not at 100% trainer.
That's correct.
Reality level.
I've done one that was like, I think I was like 75% because that was the default.
And I usually
at the beginning.
cringe because I'll see people in challenges and it'll say 30% trainer or reality level. And I'll be like, no, I want to message them and be like,
there should be
you're
like
not going to get credit.
This isn't Zwift, right? Yeah, you don't get credit. And Ruvi doesn't award group rides because group rides are banded where you can get that benefit.
Yeah, right.
It's like a huge tandem bike, right? I think Ruvi's banding might be better.
Yeah, it's a push-pull system. You can actually outrun the pull. Once you get about 2 kilometers away from the group, you lose the pull. But what happens is if you go ahead, it actually reduces your wattage by a percentage. And if you get behind, it increases by a percentage. So it pulls, so you can, like if you want to do a good workout, you can attack the group, but as soon as you start pulling away from the group, you're getting like a 25% wattage reduction trying to suck you back. And it's based on the leader. So, but a lot of like the Ruvi group rides or, ride with triathlon, Ironman Sam Long. Well, Sam Long's not going hard. He's riding at like 1.7 watts per kilo. So you could get away from
What I
them.
like about that though is there's not the argument of someone setting a pace that the group chases and it blows up the group ride, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's all just anchored off the leader, then there's not that. That's the drama in Zwift, right? Is some idiot in the group ride and they got to make the fence and boot people and interesting.
Yeah. So then, if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead. Actually, it's funny. Speaking of pronouncing people's names, Canadian nationals, the broadcast with Nathan and Dave, there is a giant majority of French last names.
Yeah.
And pretty much the whole broadcast, they were like saying the person's name 3 or 4 times. Like, I think this is how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Like I actually watched the broadcast. It was let's get into that now. We've had, unless anyone has like, hey, what's the catch up since we've last spoke, but I think we can get into some stuff.
I enjoyed the broadcast because I only listened to the last 2. So it was at the female open and the male open, but I was doing some stuff at the house. So I just had my earphones on while I was doing my stuff. And so all I got to do was listen. And I actually enjoyed almost some of the casual dialogue between Nathan and Dave, right? Where Dave was calling something out, and Nathan would be like, "What? How did you even pick that out? Like, what are you talking about?"
Oh, because they were talking about that one guy in the
one guy,
and Arthur Grivel or Grivel, because Dave was like, "He's the dark horse. Look at this guy. Look how ripped he is."
And he ended up being the dark. I mean, he played into it too. I was like, "Wow, that was impressive." And it was good listening to them go through that.
It was a very cool broadcast, I have to say. I watched a lot of the Masters races, and I saw
it was a difficult broadcast because many of the races were on at the same time.
Happened at the same time. Yeah.
So they were jumping back and forth.
They were talking about Bruce Bird riding away, and then they had a little like 3-person for second place sort of thing. So there was still some competitiveness. I saw you in the group. I'm like, oh, Lee's still in the group. And I look at the rider list and it was like plus 13 minutes. I was like, oh.
Well, because the course was interesting because you did a lap and then you did 4 little mini laps of the castle. And then you went out and did the full second lap. So every lap there was 4 mini laps. So people were like passing you. And there was some strategy involved because I'm pretty sure the guys that were ahead of me got passed by the lead group and stayed with the lead group because all of a sudden, they were 1.5 minutes ahead. And next thing you know, they were like 3 minutes ahead.
Wait, they were in the same. Well,
no, the lead group of our race. Every race was on its own course.
Okay, yeah. So they didn't group up and okay.
Yeah, you
guys looped that Bray like 3 or 4 times, right?
4 times per lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to everyone that
the amount of people
and won, or
the amount of people in this year was 3 times what it was last year, which was fantastic. The 34 to 44 Masters men's category had, looks like 22 people.
That's very cool. So the thing that threw me off when I first started watching was it said MA on a lot of people's on the Masters. This is on the Masters.
Yeah. So what they wanted,
and I was like, there's a lot of people from Manitoba. And then I was like, no, it was because I was looking for like, MA.
Well, because
for
Zwift still does the stupid pins as A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
And so there's no way of modifying the pins. So
that was like a province joke, provincial. So that was a provincial joke for everyone out there. That's
which is Manitoba.
Canadian.
So MA was the 35 to 44 Masters. WA would have been 34 to 35 to 44 Masters women's. MB was my class, which was the 45 to 54, which like Zwift needs to have some sort of way of editing. Like, cause it would have been nice just to have the actual, like the 40, because the problem too, is there was some confusion because when you go to sign up in the race, they're like, oh, make sure you change your name to the class that you're racing. So I put like Les Avrice and then in brackets 45 to 54. And then I got in the pen and everyone had like MB. And I'm like, oh, it's not Zwift.
I think this is where that not like we were talking about earlier, the platforms are not doing the racing per se, but they're giving tools to the people that are doing the racing that would make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, they need to improve the tools
to do that so that it's like, oh, people are going to the right place. They're doing they're naming themselves the right thing, or like the assignment should just have been, you get assigned whatever you get assigned. based on whatever, because you guys didn't wear specific jerseys. You guys just had the name, right? Because you were in your own
Everyone
pin.
was
That's
on
the one thing. That's one thing that you can be in your own
you
pin.
wore your own jersey, like whatever jersey you wanted.
Because I remember doing there we go, 33 minutes into the RGT stuff when we did the RGT Nationals. Those were jerseys, and because we did 2 years on RGT, we did 2 years on RGT, and it was like you had to wear the right helmet. Like then we did the combined U.S. and Canadian ones. The Canadians had different color
helmets,
yeah,
the different jerseys.
So it's like the onus is on the rider. I get that, but it would be nice if the tools were there for not only broadcast tools, but also tools for promoters.
Last year, Canadian Nationals, when it was run on My Whoosh, all the Masters men's rode at the same time, because otherwise you'd have 3 people in your class. So I think last year there was only 18. Right. And this year there was over 54 in Masters men's, which is fantastic to see.
That's great.
Huge jump. You know, what caused that jump? You know, was it because it was on Zwift, or was it because Lead Out Sports website is awesome and made things super easy?
Can you guys touch on that? I remember seeing you guys communicate about that on the Discord.
Like last year, the problem was there was a lot of confusion, and we went over a lot of the confusion. You know, you had to do a PPT for My Whoosh. Well, My Whoosh got sent the PPT, and then you were sending the weigh-in video here and sending the height video here. And then there was 2 tech guides, because Echelon sort of had their tech guide and Cycling Canada had their tech guide. And there was contradictory information on what was happening and when things were happening, where everything was on Lead Out's website. Everything. Like, you went to the Canadian Nationals section, and it was a web page, and it had register here. Like, all the registration was through Lead Out's website. You didn't have to go off of their website to do anything. And then they had, when you clicked on your profile, it was, hey, you need to submit your weigh-in video. Like, they had check marks of like, you haven't done this, 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 and this. You know, like when I went to sign up for Nationals, they said instantly came up, pop up, you have not completed a Maple Cup race. You cannot sign up for Nationals. So I registered
it knew that through the.
So then I
portal.
signed up for Maple Cup, and it was like, yep, you're signed up. Okay, you can, proceed to Nationals.
Oh wow, that's
and then
cool.
Even the transparency on through Cycling Canada, like Nathan and those guys were on Cycling Canada's Discord constantly, like posting after Maple Cup, like the same thing that they were doing on Prestige. Like, this is what we saw. Like, there were some weigh-in issues. Some people had dual power issues, and they even like worked with the people to try to solve the problems.
You had to do a weigh-in video, right? You still had to do a weigh-in video. Did you have to do a height video as well?
Height video, weigh-in video, and an equipment video. And then the weigh-in video for my class was 24 hours before the race. For elites, I think it was 2 hours. But I mean, they had the instructions, like where you submitted the weigh-in video, instructions. Like, so you didn't have to have the tech guide up. It was like, do this, 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 this. So I was just reading off the website as I was, doing the weigh-in video.
Now, this is going to get into the weeds here, but can you, so it's blocking you from signing up to the event. Does the event be sent through that portal as well for you to sign up, or does it automatically sign you up to the race?
Automatically signs you up. You log into Zwift.
Can it do your weight? Because does it do your weight and height? If what you
had to put it in on Zwift.
See, that's where it's like with the naming. Like, if it can, why is it sending? If it's signing you up, it'd be like, why can't it send your
and I think that's where you're at, Lee.
Your statistics. Sorry, go ahead, Clay.
Lead Out's doing as much as they can without the help of the platform, right? And that's where I think they've gone a step further than a lot of these.
That's great.
Their web page is doing a good job of controlling that, and this is what you need to do. And have you done everything? You don't get put into that race, I think, until 24 hours before it like it's last minute. You have to meet all the criteria to actually for them to put you in the pin. Like, all that stuff works really well. So, and I think where you're coming from, Brian Kellison, and I agree with you, is where the platforms could really assist and grow this without them having to be the promoter, is give the promoter the ability to have those links into that, to force tags on names, update weights, dual recording native in platform. That's a biggie for Zwift that a lot of other platforms have. Because I mean, Lee, what you have to do manually to get into the race, right now, no one's got a good alternative to weigh-in videos or height videos or equipment videos. But man, being able to put your dual recording straight into the platform, how much easier does that make it? Like just
pair my power meter. Native dual recording, and they pretty much warn you saying, "Hey, don't forget to submit your dual recording." What Leadout has basically done, because we've talked about eBio Passport a lot. Yeah. Leadout is eBio Passport, and they're also the race organizer where you can do all your registration for the races. So it's the best of both worlds. But they're creating a closed sort of ecosystem because the information's on their website. But after going through it, I would much rather only do their races. Like if Nathan put on, they put on another race series, I would be like, oh, I'm already signed up. I have a profile. I'm going to race that race.
So I have this question now, because numbers have always been difficult because of all the hurdles. And we always talk about this on this show. We talk about the hurdles. How do we limit the hurdles? There needs to be certain, hurdles or gatekeeping to make it as fair as possible, hopefully, right? That's what we want. Honor system is one thing, but also just like, how do we make it so that like, hey, I did the right weigh-in video. I took the pressure off. Because Canada did this way, do you think that helped increase the success of the event for the people from what you're hearing on Discord and talking to people and all the other stuff?
Pretty much right after the race, I was on Cycling Canada's Discord for the championships, and other people had already posted like, thanks Nathan, this was fantastic. And I posted a big thing, and it was like unanimous. Like everyone was like, yeah, this was the way to do it. Like, great. It's just easy. The problem is just easy. Like, where do you go? You go to their website, you open up your profile. It tells you what you're missing. You can clearly see everything.
It helps guide you to get the thing you need.
Exactly.
To do. Yeah.
And I don't have anything for or against any of these promoters trying to do it, but this is what I hope happens is if Cycling Canada went well and Leadout did a great job, and they did the Swedish races too that have been really good. They've done Prestige, and they're also wrapping into that, I think, which is important. They're wrapping into that promotion. This isn't just about race verification, but they're also broadcasting the races.
Yes, they're marketing the races.
Yeah. They're doing all of that. So, I hope other national organizations recognize that for next year. Does Leadout get 3 or 4 more because those have went well? Do more people start going to them for those services?
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead, Brian, and I'll have
I was watching Nathan Carrera, who is kind of like the leading force behind Leadout, finish his SRC race today. He said he was putting like 60 hours a week into just this.
I'm assuming he would.
So behind the scenes, what he's got going on is taking a tremendous effort, and we want to say we truly appreciate it. Like, it's phenomenal.
For sure. He's definitely refined. So that's what I wanted to bring up is Echelon Racing did this with eBio Passport. I remember doing nationals in 2022. How many? Whatever. It was eBio Passport. Really easy to do, which was a third party. It was, I think, Dave Blodgett is one of the guys that was doing it. I think he's one of the Race Start guys or something like that. Whatever. It was a very community run. Here's what you do. All the promoters had the back end to see verification if they needed it, but we posted our links to things. It was a great portal. I don't know if it was abandoned or wasn't necessary in the future for what was going on. Maybe it went away because the popularity of RGT went away. But it was what Nathan and Leadout Sports has been doing is refining something that the sport really needs, is to go like, hey, this is a place that makes it seamless. And so hopefully other promoters and other
results that I was just showing you guys was from Leadout's website.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like
24 hours ago. Right.
And those they're still provisional, so they haven't been verified, but those results were up within seconds of you crossing the line. Boom, they're there.
That's awesome.
This is great because it's taking
your account is linked to Zwift. So they do have some Zwift backend access because you do have to link your Zwift account to lead out. So they're seeing your power curves through Zwift and all of, I think, your back end information.
So this is something, there's a lot of things we get frustrated and rant about in this space because things are slow and sometimes the platforms aren't listening. And why is this so difficult? And I'm kind of back on Brian White's comment about Nathan. Like, I got to give Lead Out Esports some credit here because, guys, this is brand new. Like,
this is innovating. This is innovating on their part.
Nathan kind of went quiet for a while on his official stuff he was doing, and then all of a sudden this came out with Prestige, just probably November, December timeframe, and just fast. Where they've come since then. And then you see like the dual recording. I demoed it a little bit on my stream. Just Nathan sent me a link to it and opened it up just to me, and I played with it. And I think Lee, you said that's a little more open to public people now that are signed up through Lead Out.
Yeah,
I think.
We did. Yeah, after Nationals, you submitted your dual recording to Lead Out's website.
But their way that they built a tool to do dual recording is a completely new way to look at how dual recording works, and it allows you to see the things that they're thinking about. I'm actually excited to see, and I don't know who all's behind it. It's not just Nathan. There's a lot of people involved behind the scenes, and I know he's got a huge team of people working on this.
Did you have to?
I can't wait to see the progress that they can make over the off season, right?
For sure.
What they'll be geared up and ready for next winter. I'm really excited for that.
Did you have to manually upload it still?
Yeah. So what Nathan sent to me, and I haven't looked at the official version that's out there now, but it's similar to Zwift Power, where you just pull in like 2 fit files and it compares them. But what it's looking for in comparison and how it presents numbers to you is completely different than what we're used to seeing. It's giving me things like how many 10-second sections throughout the race were my power meters more than 1 or 2% off from one another. It was a whole different perspective on how to. It wasn't just about like, does your power numbers average out the same between these two, but how often would they deviate from one another? And when you looked at those, we're used to seeing these numbers at like 1.5 or 2%, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I'm over 4%, 50% of the time. And Nathan's like, your numbers are amazing. Like, these are great.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, but you hear over 4% and you automatically think it's bad. But once I understood what they were doing in the science and how they were looking at it, it was refreshing to me that it was a fresh look. They weren't just recreating what we're used to seeing somewhere else. They were coming with a fresh perspective.
Oh, good.
They were looking at it from a different way, and I feel like they were doing things that you could more objectively review data, right? It wasn't the gut feeling that I feel like a lot of the other ones are doing.
Hopefully they can get a seamless dual recording from any platform. I'm probably not going to happen, but they can try, because it'll probably go to another device. It has to go to another device for Zwift.
Training Peaks built in.
Yeah, Training Peaks has it. Bike Terra has it. My Whoosh has it. Yeah. I don't know if Ruvi has dual in.
I don't think so.
But also from that, it's like I hope, going back to even things we were talking about earlier, is I don't want people to have to enter things twice. Like, if you do this, if you do it for this, it should sync with what you're doing. And then you're just like, I just show up and ride. I'm in my event. It'll prompt me to join the event. Boom, done thing. Everything's filled out because I've already filled it out on the portal, or I've done it on my mobile device because I don't have a computer. I'm just on a tablet or whatever it is. That's hopefully next phase 2 of this, or phase 3, is to make it even more seamless for this sort of thing. I think the verified racing, which is different than the social racing, casual racing is what we call it. That this is great to make it as casual. All you got to I got to show up and be fit because I filled everything out and I'm ready to race.
I think the more times you do these things, like the more times you do a weigh-in video, the easier.
Oh yeah, I would have. Yeah, I know what to do, but I haven't done it in a while.
Like when you were doing a weigh-in video, like only once a year. But I mean, I had one of my daughters trained on how to film me while I weighed in. And honestly, I had my weigh-in video in 2.5 minutes. It was uploaded to YouTube.
But I keep fighting on the, hey, I had somebody film me. there's people that don't have someone to film them, and they need to make it a way that you can do it by everything by yourself.
Yeah, selfie mode. I've done that in the past.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that like that's where I think hopefully the innovation can come from is like how to, because I remember when we used to have to do, you have to film the clock, or you have to hold up a newspaper or something.
The clock is on Leadout's website.
Okay, when great. That's
where you go to upload the weigh-in video. It has instructions and it has a special code. When you click it, a code comes up. You film the code, and then it tells you exactly how to actually upload the video to YouTube. That's great
innovation. Yeah,
like
great
the
innovation.
Instructions were fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying, Lee, was I was thinking about that too. We need to close the gap from both sides. And Nathan even touched on this during the women's race. One of the women who was doing really well, Nathan openly admitted that like she was struggling a little bit with some of the pre-race prep stuff, and I got to do this and he went through a lot of that personally with her to make sure she was able to get through all that. And he said a lot of these racers that are used to doing Sunday Race Club and some of this other stuff, they're used to this, right? And that's why I think we need to close the gap from both sides. We need these platforms to do more, right? Take some of the clicks out of it, make it a little more intuitive, but also the riders need to get more comfortable doing more of these things in order to get better racing, right?
Yeah.
The riders need to commit to there's a little more burden on us as riders to get to this level of racing. We can't just say somebody needs to spoon feed us this magic thing that's going to make it perfect, and I just want to jump in and ride like I do today. Yeah. There's a burden on the riders too, and it needs to be a meet in the middle. So to all those listeners out there, yes, there is more work to get into verified racing, but it is better racing. And I assure you that most of these platforms and most of these innovators are trying to make it as easy as possible. But it can be frustrating, especially when you're learning.
When you say better, do you mean harder?
Yeah, I think it's just. I think
harder. It's a lot. That's a joke.
For me, when I race, it's just more confident. I don't have to worry that 1 out of every 5 races or 1 out of every 2 races is going to be messed with by some.
Yeah, you're at a 45-minute effort instead of a 5-minute effort. Yeah,
when I was scrolling the registered, riders list, I'm like, no, come on now. Every name I read, I was like, no, see, like there was dudes who were elite last year who were like, I'm done with elite. I'm going to Masters. And I was like, no, come on, guys.
Yeah, well, I was surprised that you had mentioned of Bruce Bird. It sounds like he rode off the front. I only listened to the.
But he was in his category.
Race.
There was only 4.
He was in his proper category.
So I was like, why wasn't Bruce Bird in the Open? Like he should have been up there with Thrall and those guys. Now he's an old man like the rest of us, right?
I think Dave on the broadcast was saying that like he probably would want to race with the guys that had like 30. I think it was like the 35 to 45.
I believe you can race down if you.
Yeah, he was like Dave was kind of speculating on that, whatever. But Bruce went out and hammered away, and they showed they had a cool little breakdown of like who he is and how many times he's won, and he's like super elite and stuff like that. But there's this sort of overall like breath of fresh air coming out of the Canadian Nationals. I don't have a report on the U.S. Nationals. The three
well, it was never there.
American
was never
riders here didn't race. What's that?
It wasn't even streamed. It was streamed by
it was the. I remember I watched some of Zach Nair stuff, but it was on Indy. It was on not Indy Valley, Training Peaks Virtual. Yeah. And so it was
an Echelon thing, right? And there was no
Echelon, and then it was I don't think there was an official coverage. Yeah, no, not even in the elites. So that's on let me ask another question about Canada, because Canada's so fascinating. We did not have our friend of the show organizing the Cycling Canada. It has a new person that was sort of taking on.
Yes, it was previously Josh Peacock, but he has moved into a different role, and his replacement, I believe, was Robin, who I think did a fantastic job. I don't know how much.
Robin, like the singer Robin, or
no, they have Robin Skinner, I think is her last name. But I think by hiring Leadout, it took a lot off their plate, because Leadout did everything.
Right on.
Canada produced the tech guide, but the link to the tech guide was on the website. Like, it's just,
Was it bilingual?
100%. Actually, there was some. So the way the tech guide goes, it does a paragraph in English, a paragraph in French, a paragraph in English, and a paragraph in French. And on Discord, like yesterday and today, people were like, could we just produce 2 tech guides?
Yeah, right.
Like, do all English?
Yeah, it seems like you had to
because
skip.
it did. Because what would happen is you'd read one paragraph in English, and you'd have to skip to the next page to read the second paragraph. Because it just went English, French, English, French, English, French, and I mean,
or one PDF.
There
with
was
the
a
first
huge
part in,
component of French speaking, like the actual broadcast as well, was done in French on a separate YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
I think they had that last year, right? Or the last couple of years. I remember hearing the French broadcast.
So the person who
they would do bilingual
co-hosting
they would.
The person who was co-hosting during Maple Cup, he did a full French broadcast.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Canada once again knocking it out of the park. Well done. A baseball reference for the rest of the people in the like cricket. Is that a cricket reference? Knock it out of the park.
Hey,
that's pretty much.
While I was on the boat, we got like 17 channels. 3 of them showed cricket the entire time. I'm fascinated by that sport. That's a complete side note.
That's a good side note. That's
I have no idea what's happening.
So Canada did great with the e-cycling stuff, but how about the hockey? Come on.
Oh.
Sorry, I got to get a little dig into the Canadians.
I'm going to say with everything that's going on in the USA right now, the USA citizens deserved some happiness.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Not to get too political.
Even the curling, the guy poked the rock. Come on, Canadians.
Yeah, okay, we'll get into that. He's claiming he doesn't do it, and then now there's video. I understand. The first thing is I don't understand. I don't understand the rules.
So many funny Instagram videos of if you go to a bar in Canada, the person slides the beer to you with their finger.
Yeah, right. That's pretty funny. I think the thing for me was watching it with my wife. We were watching it. Is there's a lot of yelling. And there's no crowd noise to sort of like block it down. It's like super quiet.
Hurry hard.
And yeah, it's like ha, and you're just like, what are they yelling at?
Well, it was controversial because like curling is supposed to be, a uppity type, sport, and then they were swearing at each other.
Oh yeah, like cricket. Yeah, and I saw the dust up between the Swedish and the Canadians.
Brian White and I were talking about this yesterday while we were riding together, and I said the curling needs to be like it needs to be the only thing broadcast on the Olympics, but at the end you need to be penalized at the end of the round if you haven't increased your blood alcohol content to at least like a 0.1 or something like that, right? Like it feels like it has to be something that includes drinking beer, getting intoxicated.
What's really interesting with curling too is, and it actually happened at the Olympics, was one of the teams was far enough out that the last few rounds they just did trick shots because there was no chance of them to actually like catch up. So the guy was doing like spins and then like spinning the rock, and funny thing is they got better.
It's a fascinating sport. But to bring it back into cycling before we get out of here, I know we started late because I want to show
equipment. Some
okay,
spoilers.
We'll do that, but I want to talk about just a little bit of the fitness of the Norwegian cross country. So because there's a lot of off-season cyclists that are doing the cross country skiing or the biathlon stuff, and so just another little side note: there is a friend of the show that has a little app that he's showing off. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you guys seen it?
I didn't quite hear that. What?
Am I cutting in and out?
No. What were you talking about?
Bjorn, friends of the show.
Okay,
Bjorn. Yeah. The what's it? He's been broadcasting it. I can't remember where it is, but it's a. You haven't seen it? Let me see if I can find it. Maybe you show the Canadian national thing. Let me see if I can.
So, spoiler alert. I mean, it's on YouTube, but I am going to show the final kilometer of a few races because they were super exciting.
Yeah, they were.
So this first one that we have, I believe, is the 35-44 Masters men's. I'm just going to do this, and we are going to hit play.
So I think Warren Mir, I think, is going to be a serious danger man in this out here today. I think that he has been wanting this for quite a long time. Warren Mir, watch out. Big kick from him, and the timing. He knows his racing. He knows what to do.
Yes, they stayed together pretty well.
Will he be able to pull it off, though? That's going to be the question.
Here's a guy going.
I feel like I'm Hal looking at Andrew
Who's
Perkins.
going?
It's a long way to go.
Man, that's a tough line. Here we go.
Yeah.
Perkins now on the move.
That's what I talked about.
Jabot, Langevin, always going to be our
climb?
man. Langevin, it seems like. And now Langevin tries to make it happen. Will he be able to do it is going to be the question. Jeffrey
Twitch
Higgs
streamer
just trying
Brad
to hang
Olson
on. Faucher's there as well. Faucher now is 5
I see where they're at.
Okay. Brad's in there. Okay.
It is going to be about the counter. You're right. And is it going to be Dumont?
Year's been around
Dumont was
for
the man you
ages. I
talked
used to
about
race with
here.
him.
He's now making his way to the front. Takes over. Is it too early here? Here comes Olson. Brad Olson. Olson with the move. Is he making the move? This is it from Olson.
No.
He might have done it.
Okay, here we go into the brutal finale. Olson has hit out. This is super impressive, Nathan. My goodness, Brad Olson making his mark on the finale. If he doesn't win, he's going to die trying, and you got to love that kind of effort. But here they come, the charge of the Light Brigade right behind him.
Yeah, for those that don't know, that's Big Trouser, right?
Pucci is there, Kennedy there, and Warren Mir. Oh, Nathan, what a finale. Who wants it more?
Here comes Perkins. We talked about Perkins, but it's going to be Mir. Will he finally do it? It's going to be Warren Mir. Right to the line.
Damn.
It's so close. 12.5 watts per kilogram. Luke Jabot versus Mir. Mir is going to do it. 12.1 from him.
Mir's tough.
Warren Mir.
Wow.
He got his national championship.
Dang.
Oh, my God. So close. I think it was Jabot, Mir, Faucher, perhaps, maybe Scott to the line. I'm not absolutely
I was
positive,
actually watching all these.
What a move by Warren Mir.
While I was racing, and I thought Brad was going to take it. I thought he was going to take it. I was like, "That's close."
It would have been cool to see a shot of him.
I'd like
to see see how he died off. Essentially,
I wonder if he was streaming. I'll have to go back and look at his.
He
VODs
was.
to see
I clicked over to him, but when I saw him, he wrapped up.
So
I'm glad for
the-
Warren there too. He's been racing these for 10 years. He used to race with me back in the A+ days when I was racing A+.
Well, Warren, I think he raced Elite last year, and I think he finally was like, "I'm just going to race my own category." So this is the last kilometer of the women's Elite. Fairly small group,
turn.
but
Pretty
stuck
full
together.
gas.
Shout out to
usually for
Flight
somebody who wants to
there.
make
She got some
early
shout outs
move.
during
It's
the
going to
race
jump down
too
into
from
this.
Nathan.
There it is, Tiffany Penner. Zoe Adam following very quickly. It's going to be, oh my goodness. Penner now backs off actually.
Adam a
jumps
little over
onto the
that.
wheel there actually, and now Adam continues to go. Full gas from Adam now, 7.1 watts per kilogram. Now Penner's up and on the saddle. Penner covers. And now we've got the games. They're going to start playing. It's going to be 2 up here at this point. Left and right, left and right. Oh my gosh. They just are haymaker after haymaker. One punches, the other one dodges. Dave to the line for these two.
It flattens out here.
Absolutely.
You can
Adam
get
steps
into
a
this
punch.
next
Then
turn.
Penner loads up to throw another haymaker, but Adam is there. This is going to be absolutely incredible. Definitely, these two are locking horns. Nathan, we're down to it. This is it. Canadian Championship is waiting. Tiffany Penner, your defending champion for the Cryo team in that blue jersey on the wheel of the young 23-year-old Zoe Adam. This is Adam now on the front. Adam rides for the United Cycling Team, a professional American squad. She's definitely got a bright future. Penner comes in as the apex sprinter that never. Here we go. Penner now moving to the front. Nathan, this is going to go to the line.
Word.
As our conversation about will it be one alone? It's not. It's 2 to the line here.
Oh,
Tiffany
she's done
Penner,
it.
defending champion.
She's done it. I think she's broken Zoe Adam, and there it is.
Look at
Over
her
the
cadence there.
top.
She is
Tiffany
struggling.
Penner's got the grind to
watching
the
the-
line.
wow.
She did it, Dave. The patience paid off. Zoe Adams gonna have to settle for second place as Tiffany Penner takes it down. Jennifer Ward, what a ride from Jennifer Ward.
Those ladies threw a lot of haymakers over the Bray section too. They were pummeling one another for a long time because it was such a small group. They just kept trying to chip away, get away, and they couldn't.
So let me ask you this on the coverage. When you guys see the electricity of the power coming off the avatar, is that
those were like the
exciting?
special socks.
special socks, whatever.
Yeah,
do you think that? Do you think you could turn that off for the other competitors and just show it on the broadcast?
No, it's the socks. It's the socks.
No, I know it's the socks, but I think it's like it shows that you're going really hard.
I don't think there's any way Zwift could code that to do a broadcast version and a live rider version. And and I know like that the avatar animation, if your avatar stands up in that sprint motion, you know you're giving out power. You know what I mean? There's no true secret.
See, I like the Zwift animation though for standing up because it's at a certain point. It's when you watch my whoosh and everyone's up, down, up, down, up, down. You're like, what is going on? Where's the threshold? Like you know in Zwift, if their avatar stands up, they're going for it.
Yeah,
in my opinion, it's a mistake. In my opinion, it's a mistake to wear anything that's going to highlight your effort. So you shouldn't have the lightning socks on. You shouldn't have the fire socks on. When you get into a race, you need to put plain socks on. So you're not, because you're just highlighting your attack.
Doesn't that help? But isn't that a in-game help?
It helps your competitor, not you.
No. But visually, but isn't it an advantage?
Not in races.
To have? It's a disadvantage. They turn it off?
Yeah, it's turned off.
Oh well, then
no.
People...
What do you mean? It's no.
I thought the aero socks give you more wattage.
If Brian Kellison they're not they might be a little advantage like aero. Yeah.
Well, that's where the marginal gains comes
in.
So
the aero socks only work like give you a benefit when you're off the front or solo, because that's when the little contrails happen. But you have to get the 850 power units to get there. So just getting the socks just lights up. Like there is no advantage until you get to 850.
Okay.
Interesting take though from Mr. Flight Simulation in chat saying that you can use the lightning to bait people.
Oh, I used to do that. Like coming in with like a half mile to go, I'd do 3 pedal strokes just to pop an orange number, and 3 people in the group would react, and then you jump on their wheel and let them pull you into the sprint. Like you trigger the lead out by the orange numbers, and the riders nearby will do that too. So you just give 2 seconds of an orange number, and you'll get half the group to jump with like a half mile to go.
So I would look at this one guy. He actually is riding in a cave.
I was looking at that. I was like, he is actually in a... So I remember Nathan actually describing this because I didn't see this, but he described it, and he's like, he's got an old Fieldstone basement that they've put mortar over top of. Like Nathan described that. This is kind of makes sense now.
So this is the men's elite last sort of kilometer.
Thomas Thrall is one of, you don't get in the Hall of Fame without being incredibly experienced.
Greivel does look like he's hurting a little bit, to be honest.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he looks a little deeper in the pain cave than the other guys.
Bauer looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I think.
The Zwift plays.
Looks very focused as well. Bauer.
So the Zwift plays are allowed in the race?
Watch out for him. Out of all of them, now we don't have a Merlin camera.
You don't have a Merlin camera,
right? So we don't know where he's at.
Okay,
now Goodfellow's going to make a move here.
Very mysterious.
Hold on a second. Pause the video.
So.
Canada, you could get. So is this a pay to play? This comes up to our pay to play thing.
Well, because you can only use you can virtual shift with the plays, same as the clicks.
Okay.
You can't
steer. That's not an advantage. That's not an advantage.
No.
Okay.
Like the actual advantage stuff is locked out. There's no steering or
no braking, no steering. Right. But you can still use the plays to shift.
So there's no play icon connected.
Right. You see, nobody has the little steering things next to their names. Yeah.
So you can still, so you don't get the icon. If you can virtually shift without having the icon.
Correct. Yes.
So with the clicks, but if you have the plays connected, don't they automatically show the steering icon?
Nope. Only if steering's enabled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they turn it off in the game.
Right. Just like ZRL. ZRL, I can join with my plays. I can't actually steer, and it doesn't show the steering.
Okay, play is the men's elite. Here we go.
1.2K to go, and Goodfellow makes a move. Thrall now on it immediately.
Boy, you almost telegraphed that. As Goodfellow, of course, he made the first move. The old school fury is about to come, and you can feel the energy from Thomas Thrall starting to elevate here.
This is it. This is for a national championship. One time up and over the top as they pass through the little village at the bottom of the skirt to the top, and it's let out great. Here by Thomas.
For the people that haven't been watching or
right
just
now,
listening,
I feel like we drew a line in the sand.
I know we have the well, you can play, but the audio, I don't want to talk over them, but I am talking over them. Is the distance remaining? You can actually see it in the broadcast.
They've done a really good job with the broadcast of bringing in information that you actually want to see.
Yeah, it took me a second to find where things were on the screen, but once I figured out how their layout was, because it's not native Zwift, it's really well done.
Is this ZMS? Is this the ZMS?
I don't know that this is ZMS. I think this is Nathan doing it.
Well, yeah. whoever I think he was one of the innovators on getting distance left in the race. So people knew how much was left, and you could kind of see that where it's like, because Dave was announcing like a final kilometer, because there's no kilometer flag, right? There's no final kilometer flag. He could actually go to that and go, yeah, we're in the 1K to go, and it was like easy for them to go, oh wow, there's a lot left. And so when people did have that breakaway, it was easy to see. My only complaint is that font is a little questionable. Cycling Canada.
They've done some innovation on that battery thing too. I want to call out why you've got this paused here. Nathan talked about that a little bit on the broadcast, because they've got that battery under the rider, and that's using. He said that's using a combination of like FTP and WBAL. It's not exactly WBAL, but they've done this own little calculation that like your battery depletes similar to the WBAL stuff that we're used to using, but he rebuilds the battery at different rates based on like whether you're going at threshold or 80% threshold or 90% threshold. So that whole battery chart that they've got down there is something that like the lead out team has built into the broadcast, and they talked about it a lot in the broadcast, where they'd be like, this guy has used most of his battery, or look how fast, I think it was Ray in this one, look how fast Ray's battery comes back.
This is what they believe the battery is.
Yeah.
Their own homegrown battery.
That's very innovative.
He went right out of the pen and attacked, and he actually got a decent amount of lead, but yeah, he was buried.
Yeah, there was a moment in this race where Ray was like 20-30 seconds up, right?
Like at the very beginning, like within the first like five, lap. As soon as they crested the hill, he attacked, and the hill was the first 2 minutes of the race, and he just rode away, and they were like, how is this going to happen? Is he just going to ride away from everyone? Because
it was the first time over the Skur that they caught him, right? Like coming up here.
Because no one was trying to counter it, because I think everyone was confused that he went, but Ray actually has enough of an engine that he could there was a chance he could have gotten away.
I would guess that Thrall was probably getting a little worried at some point, though, because he knows that Ray's got that engine.
Well, that's what happened not last year, but the year before. Ray went too soon. He went with like 3 kilometers left, and he did an attack at like 14 watts per kilo, dropped everyone, and everyone was like, oh my goodness. Thrall tried to bridge, gave up on bridging. Mm-hmm. Yes. Then they caught Ray. Like the finish of 2 years ago was insane.
That was phenomenal, yeah.
Was this the same course from last year?
It was in My Whoosh last year. So it went Zwift, My Whoosh.
Yeah. But it was in Scotland when it was on Zwift, but it wasn't this course.
They've done all the nationals in Scotland.
It was 2 years ago on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the last, now we're at 700 meters.
700 meters left, yeah. Said start here if you're in this group. National Chip will be waiting for you at the top. And Nathan, this is going to be a lot of fun to call. Lock in. Here we go. Again, now we talked about the timing. This is the timing moment. Going too early and you're going to be exposed, they will certainly cover and kill. So you time that one perfectly.
For 600 meters to go.
Front. All right, Nathan.
A good group.
Nobody's willing. This is crazy. They knew that it was going to flatten out. That's why, because of this flatten out section, they knew that it's going to be a bad move.
Waste their bullet.
No, but it's around the corner.
Got to have it.
Oh my gosh, we got 400 meters. 400 meters to line. Gravel's going to be the first one. Gravel.
Looks like Art. Now Thrall goes.
Big kick, Thomas Thrall.
On the table, Nathan.
Oh my goodness, and he's got a gap. He's got a gap. I think it's already
200
over.
meters, 200
It's
meters.
over before it even started here. It's going to be Thomas Thrall, 14 watts per kilogram. Game over. They got the jump. They let him go first. And will it be Dallaire? Merlin to the line. Merlin takes second. Greivel third. Greivel third. What? No way. Crazy. Oh my god.
There's your champ, though. I tell you what, like a human rocket ship. When he ignited, that was it. Thomas Thrall was gone. He would have lifted off planet Earth if they didn't put triple gravity in at the top of that climb. Nathan, that was a classic Thomas Thrall performance. Meet your Canadian national champion. And there you are.
Awesome.
Celebration coming. I bet you they were watching in the house. They're coming out to congratulate. Dad is the Canadian national. Look at even the dog going bananas to celebrate.
Amazing job. But I mean,
walking it off.
That move, that move was insane. Like he had.
We're not watching the replay where they're showing a full screen of Thomas.
The
and
human element of these streams is a big deal too.
That was very cool. Yeah. But like, I actually, from the emotionless avatars, seeing the attack in the broadcast was pretty cool. And then the color and the play-by-play.
Well, you can see like when really he crossed the line. They had his live cam there.
Yeah.
And he was super pumped. Like you could see, and you can just see even after the fact, like the look on his face was like exhaustion and I did it. And like I say, his dog was going nuts. And his family
and then going back and watching the end of the ladies race, right? Where she was grinding. I mean, she wasn't doing a typical sprint. She was at a 65 cadence, just absolutely muscling
like a night vision camera too.
Those shots, they make a big difference.
They do help. Yeah, that's the thing is they do help. I think
they've been doing a really good job. The production value of the broadcasts with everyone, because they actually had a Zoom meeting open, and they actually encouraged everyone to send their camera feed to the Zoom meeting so they could bring up, and they were doing it for all the races. They had the people's categories up.
That's it. This is, as you can see, the dog here. This dog did not get adopted. This one's already been adopted. We've gone way over, but I was late coming in, and I'm like, I need Dramamine for all the watching Brian's water slosh around. I'm getting seasick. I've been getting seasick for like an hour. I'm not seasick. I'm good. I got a strong stomach. But yes, Lulu. It's so
we've had some chat requests tonight, BK.
Okay, fine.
They want more BK bike riding. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'll get back on.
You gave us some taste of some streams over the last couple of weeks.
Okay,
you've been slacking.
Yes. Okay, we'll go a little long here. I'll get into this now. I have a race on Zwift that I'm trying to sort of like take over, and I want it to do well. It's the Wednesdays. What's the Zwift one that we talked about? It's the it's the steering one, right? It's the one with the speed buttons. I want them to really work on it. I think that they can if they lean into it. This is my problem with Zwift. If Zwift, if you're listening, lean into this racing. I think it's fun. I'm not having fun, but I think it can be fun. How about that? There's people that think that like I'm just no fun. I think that we can do different spots for the design of the game, and I think the community can help drive that. If you just sort of like, I don't know about the Zwift. What's it called? Zwift Labs. Is anyone running Zwift Labs?
No, there's nothing going on.
Okay. That's my problem. So I will get on and do more riding.
See, this is a perfect opportunity though for you, Brian, because you've been off the bike so long. You can do like a Brian getting back in shape stream of
I got the bar tape on. I almost streamed the bar tape thing, and then I'm like, I really don't want to be called out for being bad at bar tape. We didn't even get into the, you know what? Okay. We're going to leave this in a month because we're going to do this a month. This was a good show. I think it's nice. We pile up a bunch of stuff. This is the teaser. We were not even going to talk about this stuff. We were going to talk about Brian White's not buying bibs that should be new. We'll leave it on that. For everyone that needs to know, you should be buying and cleaning your bibs on a regular basis.
Everyone in chat, go to the Discord channel, and I want to hear all about your favorite chamois cream.
Yeah. We need, okay, this is what we need. We need bib recommendation. This is for Brian White. We need bib recommendations, and we need chamois cream recommendations. He's like on 5-year-old bibs with no chamois cream.
My favorite chamois cream.
And he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" So
Canada.
we're having first aid discussions. How about that? First aid discussions.
Yeah.
This goes for everybody. It's a contact point, everybody. We'll leave you on that. There's 3 contact points. Get good shoes.
Hey,
get a good
chat's on my side on those chamois cream. Brothers.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Then you can.
He doesn't even ride a bike anymore.
Yeah.
So it's Dr. Weebles. He hasn't been on a bike in months.
Honestly, do you need chamois cream if you stand up the entire ride?
Bro, the elites are saving money. That's it. The elites are saving money on Zwift by standing up all the time.
One of the contact points too was bar tape, and I talked about bar tape. So good bar tape or padded towels that you never wash for a month, like Casey. Good chamois cream, and shoes, and we'll leave you on that. We'll get out of here. Thanks everyone for waiting a month. I think this is a good format for us, and we'll see you in the next time. Bye, everybody.